Join us now to talk about the presidential rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Arthur Brooks, AEI President Emeritus, Harvard University professor, and The Atlantic contributing writer. I didn't know that we were going to grill you on that. That's what they put. I just read what's in front of me, Arthur. I'll tell you how, since you talk about happiness all the time, let's talk about happiness, because there's a real disconnect right now. And there was a poll a couple of days ago, one of 5 or 6 in the last 2 weeks, that have all shown basically the same thing, but kind of surprising. Only 18% of people polled think that Biden's policies have helped them. And the former president, Trump, is like 20 points higher, even among women, for individuals saying I was more helped by Trump's policies than Biden's policies. And we're going to have another Biden surrogate on today, Ro Khanna, a great guy, a friend of mine. He's going to be making the case. It's a tough case, obviously, to make. But why are people so unhappy if things are so good with the labor market, GDP, and the stock market?
Well, people are in a very sour mood in the United States today, and part of the reason is because we have this kind of these polarizing figures in politics today, and also in media, of course, that are they're talking down the country is what it comes down to. And when people are saying you should be angry, you should be outraged, people will be, notwithstanding anything that's good about public policies.
Now it sounds like what I'm going to hear, and what I do hear from Democrats, is that people don't know how they're supposed to feel, and they're being told by the media how to look. The media is not going to tell people. Which media is going to tell people to not like Joe Biden? He's got the media. They'll do anything they can to try to help him. So this is happening in spite of the media being.
Here's what's been going on for the past 10 years. We've gotten into what we call a dark triad paradigm. Okay, so it's real social science. Sounds like a cool band, but it's actually a social science problem. Yeah, dark triad. It has 3 personality characteristics.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, I need a T-shirt that says that. What it is a combination of narcissism, it's all about me, Machiavellianism, I'm willing to hurt you, and psychopathy, which is I have no remorse. That constellation of personality characteristics, it occurs in 7% of the population, and they're ordinarily not successful.
Are you saying one of
No, I'm not saying
candidates
what I'm saying is that the parties are dominated by activists, and activists tend to be dark triads. And we've gotten into this really bad bullying paradigm where everybody's being bullied and being manipulated, and nobody likes it, but we don't know what to do as a country. The country doesn't know how to get away from the clutches. Now, again, this is not just politics. This is business, which is being manipulated by activists. This is campuses, which are manipulated by activists. And they tend to have this dark triad, this 7%. That have way too much power.
A cause or just a tool that enables?
It's an amplification device for this. That's what's actually happening. It's an accelerant to this big problem. But when the 7% are in control, the 93% of the rest of us, we're just like, I don't know, but I hate it all.
So
I don't know why.
How has that cycle been broken in the past?
That cycle has been broken in the past 2 ways. Number one, rebellion, where people say, I hate it, I don't want it, get away from me, stay away from my kids, don't tell me how to vote, stop. Number 2 is that somebody comes along and says, I have a better way. How about changing the country from fear to love? What do you say about that? That's what Ronald Reagan did.
I was going to tell you, you called it a rebellion. Other people call it a revolution.
The Reagan Revolution was a rebellion against what had been going on.
But that meant that was a guy talking about a shining city on a hill that's going to bring everybody in and allow them to flourish.
Yeah, what happens is that very unimaginative media and politicians are saying the other guy's evil, be outraged, be sad. I mean, it's ruining mental health from young to old in this country. It's making people feel sad and angry and anxious and lonely and depressed. And when a good leader can come along, when a series of good leaders can come along, when it gets cool to be happy, things start to change. Ronald Reagan did that, and other people have as well.
Arthur, it's 8 more months.
Yeah.
You got Dark Brandon on one side. You've seen his speeches when he you've seen those, right? With the dark behind him, and then you got someone who, on the other side, on any given night, you have no idea what he's going to say. Go ahead and invade a NATO country. I mean,
you don't know.
Nothing's going to get any. You're screwed.
Yeah,
You're happiness, and you're not going to be able to do anything for the next 8 months. You are, as I said,
are you kidding?
You're swimming uphill.
It's by that extension, the 4 years to follow.
And the 4 years to follow.
No, but it's a great market for what I have to do because people actually care about it.
Great.
The truth is we need
like
this.
cable TV with Trump.
But we have to recognize that we're in it for the long haul in the United States. We need to be thinking about what's going to happen in 10 and 20 years from now, and that means cultivating leadership. Oh, yeah, I'm as hopeful as I've been in a long time.
Who do you see as potential leaders on either side?
So I see at the local level, and the United States. The great thing about the United States is that local and state politics tend to be upstream from national stuff. Now, it's more true with Republicans. Republicans are more of a grassroots party, and what you see at the local level is what you're going to see later. But I see all kinds of people that want to work for the 70%. The 70% issues that Democrats and Republicans can work on together. That want to lift people up and bring them together, and who recognize that other Americans are not my enemy. This tribal mentality where the biggest threat, look, I mean, in my world, I see the craziest data. 71% of Democrats on dating sites won't date a Republican. 41% of Republicans won't date a Democrat.
Right.
You might be wondering about the difference between them. It's because women tend to be more Democratic.
I was going to say just
men are more Republican, and women are choosier than men on dating sites. But the whole point is, like, you're going to put that. It's the worst. Now they're getting into romantic love. They're trying to ruin every part of our lives.
Can't you go to a better restaurant with a Republican? I would think they have. What?
So we have a huge opportunity in this country to actually start to fight back.
You don't think so?
You're playing into the tropes.
No kidding. God, I was going to
look. The good days are ahead of us if we want them. Is the whole bottom line. And we start to look for the local. We want them. And look, there's a lot of people watching.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Great. So the two people that kept the Senate from going totally nuts, are both gone now. Manchin and Sinema, they're both gone. Sinema as of yesterday. Right? That stopped the get out of the filibuster. I mean, all hell could break loose.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't need a different person. You need the same people thinking differently and talking differently. And they're herd animals. This is the point. If they actually start to say, oh, I guess that's what we do. We stop denigrating America. We stop insulting our neighbors. We stop telling people to stop talking to their sister-in-law because she votes Democratic. They'll say, okay, that's what we're doing now. And that's what leadership can actually bring.